Conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Yeah, let 'em in. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody had another rough conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win.
All right, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday evening to you. Broadcasting from the B Level Entertainment Studios. I'm your host, B Level.
And y'all know who I are, the boyfriend, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony P.
So listen, and together we go by the Unpacking the Baggage podcast, the baddest podcast in the world. As you can see, we are going half staffed today. We got Tristan is out with the client, and he should be coming in momentarily. He's going to come in later. And then Andrea is sick. So y'all pray for y'all Andrea to get better. Chris Webb will be on later on with the news you can use. But we are going half cocked today. We don't have our whole crew, but we're going to get through this. Okay. Today is this is episode 72, and we're calling this episode Polyamorous, Monogamous, or Open Relationship. Now, listen, before we start talking, we do need to pay some bills. Sponsors. We are looking for you. Last year, we had over 1.2 million views, and those people have astronomical buying power. They're buying cars, they're buying houses, they're buying products. So if you have a product that you would like to advertise on our platform, it is very, very inexpensive. I promise you. Send an email to unpacking the baggage podcast lr@gmail.com. Again, unpacking the baggage podcast lr@gmail.com, or send a inbox to Anthony, Andrea, Chris Webb, Tristan, or myself, or hit up the UTB Facebook page, and somebody from our sales teams will get back in touch with you. Now, as it relates to just sponsors, this hair show that the whole team will be at Sunday, June 8th. Lock your box. Set the dates for Sunday, June 8th. The Big Hair Invasion 2025 is going to be, if you are a vendor, if you are a stylist, if you are a braider, if you're in the hair industry and you want to participate in this, the biggest hair show in Arkansas, y'all make sure y'all call Tam. And let me give y'all Tam's number so y'all can make sure y'all call the right number. Y'all hit up Tam. Her number is 501-257-9817. Again, 501-247-9817. Now, as I said, Tristan is not here. Anthony, who's going to read the comments? Am I going to read them? Or you? Can you read, P?
Fool, please, fool. Can you read? Yeah, I can read them. Yeah.
But listen, we're going to get to it. But I want to go ahead and bring our guest up front, first of all, okay? Y'all, big round of applause for our guests, Miss Christina and Eric Allen. Big round of applause for them. I'm going to read their bios, and I'm gonna read their bios, but then I'm gonna let them give you. I'm gonna give you the Reader's Digest bio. Okay, this couple, they love working with couples and inspiring them to believe that a fulfilling marriage is truly possible. With the right tools and commitment to the process, you could have the relationship you desire. They have over 23 years of marriage. They have two kids, ages 20 and 21. They have this young lady who's the therapist, has two businesses. Okay, one of the business is called Evolve Within Transformation Coaching, and then the other one is Flip My Marriage. Without further ado, I want to welcome to the Unpacking the Baggage podcast our host and our celebrity counselors, Mr. Eric and Mrs. Christina Allen. Big round of applause for them.
Hello.
Now, I gave the formal introduction. Give me in a nutshell, Christina and Eric, introduce yourselves, what you do, how long you've been doing what you do, and give them a formal, informal snapshot of what you guys do.
I guess very informal. Since we work with couples, the biggest thing is we've been together since 5th and 6th grade.
Wow.
So with a history like that, we done been through it. We've been through a lot. So we've been working with couples for the past what?
Oh man.
We've been working with couples for a long time.
7 years.
And I've been a therapist over 20 something, 10 years a therapist. And then I've been in the field of mental health for 20 something years. So I got a lot of mental health experience. I started my own coaching practice for women. We started Flip My Marriage. I mean, we've been busy. But the biggest thing is, like just working with couples. We absolutely love it. And like I said, we got experience. We got 23 years plus 30 something years total. So it's ridiculous.
So there's probably nothing that you guys have not talked about with couples, right? I mean, is there anything that you probably 23 years of being married and coaching couples? Do you coach singles or do you just do couples?
I've worked with singles in my private practice,
Okay.
but right now, as far as us together, we're working with couples.
So if you have somebody that are listening and looking and that they are trying to get in to see you, they all flipped, messed up, Eric, they all jacked up, Christina, and they want to get better. How would somebody get in contact with you to set up some type of counseling session? How would you go about doing that?
Well, I think the easiest way is go to flipmymarriage.com. That's flipmymarriage.com, and there's videos and resources. You can also email us, flipmymarriage, and we'll be able to set up something. But the easiest way, a lot of free information, videos, and to start there, from communication to renovating your relationship. So the whole 9 yards. It's pretty much something for everybody in there.
Yeah, there's free resources. There's courses that we've made. Everything you want, marriage, we got it.
Good. Okay. And if you guys are just tuning in, Tristan, transformation is just Tristan. Where are you, bro? Like what? Where you
I'm at
not
the
at work, bro?
studio. I can't. It's loud in here.
What are you doing, Tristan? Why are you not at work?
We're doing a video shoot, 20 versus 1 with the local artist, Bree 223 here at studio downtown. She's doing her YouTube channel, her 20 versus 1, and there's a lot of guys here from Memphis, Atlanta, Arkansas. They're here doing their 20 versus 1.
Okay, with all the loud noise, can you hear us fine? You can
Yes,
hear
I
us
can
fine?
hear you. I can hear
Okay,
you.
so all right, so listen, I asked Anthony, could he read? Because I got to do all
Can you read, or you
Yeah,
need Ricky
fool.
Rainbow?
Fool, come on now.
So listen, Tristan is not here. He's out on location. So yes, y'all be patient with me. The first thing I need you guys to do is share the live and share it in the comment, and I will shout you out. And let me go through here before we start our conversation. We got Tawan Hillard on here. We got Beth. We got Shelly Polk on here.
I think I see Ronald on here.
Who's
Let's see
that?
Ronald shared it, I believe.
Yeah, Patricia Moreland is on here. Patricia, I see that she
I
shared
don't
it.
see any other
Shay.
comments.
Yeah, you say you got them?
No, they're not coming. I just see one.
Okay. Shay Latrice has shared it. Listen, I need you guys to share the live so that we can get this out. Okay. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about an episode that we have been questioned in inbox. Now we've done an episode back when we first started the podcast, but tonight we're going to talk about polyamorous relationship, which is so popular. I've gotten at least 6 or 7 inbox of people asking us to talk about the poly. We're going to call it short poly. Okay. The other thing we're going to talk about is monogamous relationship, which is the traditional relationship that most people are trying to practice. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about an open relationship. Now, Christina, Mr. Eric, have you guys had any experience with talking with couples about wanting to be poly? That's the first question. Okay, you have.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
I guess because it was different for me, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know a lot about polyamory.
Okay.
And so when the lady was like, yeah, I think I'm polyamorous and I want to date multiple people, I'm like, what you mean? Like, is that okay?
Right.
I mean, you in a relationship and you want to be in multiple relationships. So that was different for me.
Okay.
And then as far as the open relationship, I've had quite a few swingers come through. So there you go.
Okay, so first of all, what I always try to do is give some statistics and give some education and educate people on what those truly are before we jump into conversation. So let me start. The definition, which everybody know of a monogamous relationship, is having sexual relationship with only one partner at a time. That seems to be the traditional thing for monogamous. Now, I always try to take it back to layman's term. What are the benefits from being in a monogamous relationship? And here's what Google tell me. Monogamous relationships offer several benefits, including emotional intimacy. Let me read this right. Including emotional intimacy, stability, and reduced risk of sexually transmitted diseases. They can also lead to clearer communication and stronger bonds due to focused attention and reduced jealousy. That's the benefits. What are the downfalls of a monogamous relationship? Monogamous relationship, while offering many benefits, also present potential downsides. Okay, this include increased pressures on partners to fulfill all of each other's need, potentially, and decreased sexual satisfaction due to lack of novelty and limitations on exploring new romantic partners, new romantic or sexual interests. Additionally, some individuals may feel confined or stifled within a monogamous framework, especially if they have a need to explore different aspects of their identities and desires. So, would you guys agree that the majority of your couples that you counsel are trying to practice a monogamous relationship?
Most definitely. Yeah, I would say out of everybody that I've worked with, probably 80%, 85%, maybe a little more, have been
Mhm.
in monogamous relationships. It's been very limited on the polyamorous or the open relationships.
Those are those are the good relationships, and we're gonna get into some of the challenges. Some often say those could become boring.
Gotta keep it spicy.
Yeah, they feel the need to spice up their life or spice up their relationship. So the majority of the people, we don't really have to spend a lot of time on monogamous, because I would probably guess 95% of the relationships are set out are probably monogamous. P, are you in a monogamous relationship, P? What do you like, or what do you what do you think? Monogamous. What's your preference, P?
That's what that's what we need as men. But what we want is two different things. We got two brains we're working with, so we have to satisfy both. And that's what I think we're talking about right now. We like in the struggle, with what brain to listen to, the one down there or the one up here. And so now we try to compromise and come with something. That's why we're talking to the guests. So we can see compromise.
How hard is it? How hard do you find couples trying to be monogamous?
We'll
Eric?
let you answer that.
How hard is it? I like I said, like Anthony saying, yeah, you go like my expert said. Really, with the men, we have our own desires.
Yeah.
And so a lot of time that drives the conversation, that drives the scenario.
Yeah.
And if you look back when it all began, who set the rules with relationship?
Yeah.
At the very, very beginning, who set the rule? Who set the standards of relationship? The men
Yeah.
pursued, the men set the standard. So yeah, it's hard. As long as men are men and have our desire, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Tristan, are you in a monogamous? You-
I don't like sharing.
no, so that means that you do practice. If you don't like sharing, you're practicing a monogamous relationship. Which
No, I don't want to share.
okay, so you should be practicing. If you do not want to share,
Yeah.
you're practicing the monogamous, which means you do not want to share. You are not interested in.
Oh, right,
so
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
okay, that's what we're saying. Okay, so as we said, that was part of the title, but 95% of the people, we all know what that consists of, right?
Yeah.
Being honest, being faithful. If those are what it takes to be in a monogamous relationship, right? That's what 90% of the people. I ask you guys how challenging it is when you're couples. Are you guys coupling? Are y'all counseling married couples or couples that are in a relationship, or do you do both?
Both. I
Okay.
work with all couples.
What percentage of the couple that you work with are married versus just in a relationship?
Between the two of us, we pretty much work with married couples. But in my private practice, I work with everybody, anybody, married
Yeah.
or not married. And I think the biggest challenge, like y'all were saying, for men in general, I've had a lot of men come in that say, well, I cheated, I this, I that. But the thing about it, you have women coming in that say, I want to cheat. So y'all are talking about monogamy, but some women are feeling like I'm tired. So it's different situations for different people.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest struggle out of all of the things that you guys counsel on, infidelity is that probably at the top of the list of what people struggle with?
Communication is like up there. And I think some of the infidelity stems from not being able to communicate with your partner. You're not able to express what you really feeling because you don't want them to think something or get upset or whatever. So communication is really big. But then, yeah, the infidelity part, I think that kind of communication plays into that as well.
And if you don't communicate very well, it will most likely lead to infidelity. I mean,
Because you might be communicating with somebody else.
yeah, yeah. Um,
I like her.
go. What were you saying, Tristan?
I said I like her.
We just got going yet. We just got going.
Yeah, it just got on, you know.
You might.
You said we
you
just
might
got
not
going.
like at
Oh.
the end of the show. You
Right.
Yeah.
What team you on now?
Okay. All right. So listen, I want to go to one of our more challenging subjects, right? I want to go to the open relationship before we jump into the big one. I kind of feel like our biggest issues are going to be the poly. But I want to transition into talking about open relationship, and I want to give them what an open relationship is. Okay. So here's the Webster's definition of an open relationship is a consensual, non-monogamous arrangement where partners agree that they can each have romantic or sexual relationship with others. It's a type of relationship structure where exclusivity is not a core principle. This allows a broader range of connections and exploitations outside of the primary partnership. Okay. Now, what are the benefits of an open relationship? Just like I did for monogamous, in addition to sexual diversity, an open relationship may be appealing if you feel constrained by the cultural norm of monogamy, or if you have sexual fantasies your primary partner isn't comfortable with. Okay. The downfall of open relationships, while potentially fulfilling for some, can also present significant challenges. These include potential for jealousy, decreased time for primary relationship, and risk of STIs. Furthermore, open relationship can exacerbate existing insecurities and lead to betrayal if not managed with clear communications and boundaries. Now, Eric, Christina, do you have couples in there talking about they want to be in open relationships?
Yes. Yes, and yes.
And when you're counseling these couples, do you recommend things? Do you say to them, I don't recommend that, or do you just listen?
As a counselor, I got two hats now. I'm a counselor and a coach. With my husband, we're going to tell you what we think. As a counselor, I'm going to be like, that's your choice. If you want to do that, that's your choice based on statistics. I don't recommend it, but if that's what you're feeling, and I've had couples that go there, and I've had couples that break up because of it, because emotions get involved. A lot of times for, a open relationship, it's supposed to just be sex. That's it. Let's just have sex, move on.
Right.
But if one person gets involved and emotionally attached to the other one, that's when that jealousy and all those problems come up, because it's like you wasn't supposed to fall in love with them. We was just kicking it.
Right.
So that leads to major problems too.
So were you trying to say something, Tristan? So I've heard some say, Eric and Christina, that sometimes having an open relationship help people stay married because you are allowed to go outside and have your fun, but you still stay committed to your husband or wife. You don't divorce them. If you are having sexual issues where she's not fulfilling you sexually, it gives you a hall pass to go out and have sex with another guy or sex with another woman. Do you recommend that if a couple comes to you and say, listen, we don't want to leave each other. She's not satisfied me in the bedroom.
I don't recommend it. I've seen people do it and it worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I've had some couples where the wife wasn't fulfilling the husband, and he's like, I want some more people. And she's like, as long as I meet them, she wanted to meet them and approve of them, and then it was okay. So,
Tristan, why are you looking like that, Tristan?
I'm just trying to piece it all together. I'm just trying to.
Tristan, so
Yeah.
you
Okay.
have so Tristan, let me ask you this. You could not do open. You could not be in an open relationship where you had a boyfriend and look at Anthony, and you allow him to go out. You ain't let me finish, Tristan. I ain't finished reading the question. So you could not be in an open. So you don't want to leave him, Tristan. You really want to be with him, but he's not satisfying you. So what do? You quit him because he has good traits. He's a great partner, but he's not satisfying your sick. Why you put your glasses down, Tristan?
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer it.
Come on, what are you doing?
I'm gonna have to
You gonna have
teach
to
him.
teach him.
I'm gonna have to teach him. I'm gonna
Okay,
teach him.
so until he's able to be taught, you just bear with not being sexually satisfied. So open relationship is nowhere near an option for you.
Sam. No.
Okay. Tristan is
You got to come. It gotta come with a hefty allowance.
Oh, now you selling. Now you selling.
I just don't see
P, what
it.
do you think about open
Yeah,
relationship? Are there some times, P, where you would consider being in an open relationship?
I mean, I got the slogan is I ain't gonna cheat on you.
You can't ask my whole ass.
See what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cheat on you, baby, unless you cheating with me. So what that mean is I ain't gonna let you pick the holes out. You know, because that ain't you ain't never been no man before. I don't feel like your vagina should be picking the vagina that I stick. You know, because you ain't doing no sticking, you just doing some licking. So I feel like, you know, as long as I bring the girls home with us, yeah, oh, who was that?
What's up, Bree?
Hey,
What's up, Bree?
I forgot my train of thought. Hey, hi, oh my God, how you Lord?
I was just trying to mess with y'all.
You messing with us, all right. You messing with me.
Hey, Bree,
You
we
messing
got
with
we
me.
got to get you on the podcast. We live now, Bree. We got to get you on, baby.
Hear me? That's fine. We can be live.
Yeah,
we can be live.
right now.
Tag my.
Show me something that the Lord
tag
gave you to
my,
give out.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Clap my
Okay.
heels together.
Let me leave y'all alone. I'll get
Okay.
back to so we can do some undeniable stuff
Oh,
next
Okay.
time.
All right. So Anthony, you were saying you lost your damn train of thought. Shit,
The
you don't know
devil
what the hell
always
you were
busy.
saying.
The devil busy in my life right now. But go ahead on.
Okay.
I think about it
So
again.
no, I was asking you, could you be possibly in an open relationship? So when I'm saying, would you let your chick go out and be with another dude?
No. See, I got to be the dude.
You got to
You
be the
know,
open one going out.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be the overachiever. I'm gonna be in the top 2 percentile.
Oh.
That way, y'all come home to me, baby. Tell me what y'all need. What can we do to make this thing work? You know, ain't that many? You know, ain't no many me's out there in the world. So you know, that's why
So
guys,
you don't mind?
huh?
You don't mind sharing your woman?
With another woman, yeah.
Oh,
I sure
with
with another
Oh,
woman.
okay.
Yeah, I'm the only one doing the sticking. I'm the North Pole in the relationship, baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We can do that. And I think for I'm kind of like P. Like I don't know. I I'm gonna be honest because we keep it real, Christina and Eric on this podcast. I ain't letting my woman be in the open, but I could see where I would be willing, to be, to go out and the only way that I would do that is she's not, sexually satisfying to me, and she's willing to let me go out and get a hall pass. I think I could do something like that.
But again, too, Miss Christina, I'm not gonna make this woman my woman if she not making me happy sexually.
So P, if she handling her business, she has all of the traits that a good partner would want to. She's just not satisfying you sexually. You wouldn't.
She should have never got the job as your woman. Then.
So she can't. She got to hit all points.
Yeah, I ain't never bought a car without test driving that motherfucker. So she shouldn't get that. It's just like a job. They got qualifications. Think about it. They got qualifications at a job. You have to meet all qualifications before you even can get hired or a second interview, right?
Okay.
So we as men or women have to do the same thing. Stop compromising on your top 5 list that a man must have. If you know you like men with big things and you only love men with big things and money and know how to treat you, stop compromising on those 2 things because he's fine.
So stick to what you want.
Yeah.
I hear you on that because a lot of times people get married because they think it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
And if he ain't packing, then
I'm gonna tell you this, Christina. Men and women. Oh, look at here. Men. Okay, so men and women. So men marry hoping that they woman will not change. Women marry hoping that the guy will change. I mean, do you hear that a lot?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, personally, I experienced it. I mean,
Explain that, Eric. Explain that personally experience.
I mean,
Explain.
come on now, turn the pressure down.
He got live there.
I mean, she want me to improve, right?
Right.
She want me to improve. So, I mean, that's where I am. That's where I am with that. So, it's kind of like you were saying, let's say we're playing a game or whatever. I want to be the starter. You let everybody play, you're going to be on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we're playing one-on-one, and I know who got the ball. I mean, we're a team. That's it.
Yeah.
But if you start adding this, what game are we playing?
Right.
That's why you gotta pick the best woman with the best stuff. See, a lot of these dudes know that girl stuff ain't no good, but they gonna marry her anyway because she made $10,000 more money than he made.
Well, and Pete, so what I'm hearing you saying is, in order for you to get married, she has to check off.
She gotta check all the boxes.
She can't have lack in nothing.
No, with technology now and all this booty buying and BBL stuff now, you ain't got no reason not to check all the boxes no more. Used to be saying.
I was just gonna say, I think for you, if you did marry somebody that didn't check all the boxes, would you be more likely to cheat on her?
No, we're just gonna cheat together. What that means is, baby, you lacking, your pussy ain't that fat. So if you don't want to get these fillers put in your lips, we need to go get another girl with a fat thing and bring the bed on with her. That way you feel all the boxes.
So if you lacking,
I ain't gonna be goddamn lacking.
She gonna, you gonna lack somewhere.
I promise God, I ain't gonna be goddamn lagging. I got too many tools. I got tongues, fingers, hands, mouth, and that.
So you gonna make up?
I'm gonna make up, boy. See, we as men don't understand. We got too many secret weapons to please a woman. We do. This is true.
Now, Christina, Eric, did I warn y'all? I warned
I'm
you.
sure they
I warned y'all. Now, I warned you before you came on. I told you after Pete. But go ahead and
I'm
finish,
just
Pete.
telling the facts. We got too many secret weapons. So if you only last 2 minutes in bed with your woman, stop trying to go straight in with the thing and you're gonna embarrass yourself. So what you do is
you gotta coast.
Yeah. No, you use that mouth first.
Right.
Eat that thing for 45 minutes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then play with that thing with the 45. Play with that click in the thing.
Okay, so hold on. After the 45 minutes, you're going too fast. After the 45 minutes, I'm right.
I ain't talking about this is coaching for tongue on pussy, not tongue on dick. So you gotta sit this one out, Tristan.
What you say, Tristan got to do what?
You messing up my notes. I'm learning something here.
This tongue on pussy, not tongue on dick coaching.
I know. I'm learning something.
So what you do if you know you only last 2 minutes in bed with a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eat that thing for 45 minutes. I know you your tongue might get hot or tired, but lay on your side.
Let me come on. Okay, listen. Let's get back to the subject of Pete Takeout now. So listen, celebrities, okay? Celebrities that are in an open relationship. Here's one that's in an open relationship. Everybody knows Monique and her husband. She was on a radio show where somebody asked her whose ideal it was for her and Sydney to be in an open relationship.
The two of
and
you
this
have a
was her
podcast
response. Let's
called
listen
Monique
to it.
and Sydney's open relationship.
Yes.
Is it true you all? Is it true you all actually have an open relationship? And what does that mean? Is it open 24 hours? Is it what's going on? What does it mean to be in an open relationship? And I know this was your idea, Sydney.
Well, yes, we are in an open relationship 24/8. Okay. And by that, we mean that we're always open to conversation. We're open to the understandings that man and woman, or as a couple, we should have for one another. Thank you.
But you automatically said, Sydney.
This was his idea.
And I think that's, when we first came out with it, everybody said, oh my God, how could Monique let that man do that to her?
Whose idea was it?
Well, because she's this big woman and he's this good-looking man, and because she has this money, she gonna let that man do whatever he want to do just to say she has a fine man.
So y'all talking about, because you talk about emotion and conversation, but that's not what, y'all talking about sex right
Well,
now.
here's what makes it beautiful, John.
Okay.
Okay, shake your head one more time. Here.
Whose idea was it?
Let
Was
me-
it your
I'ma tell
idea?
you, it was my idea because 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I'm an entertainer, and this is my best friend ever. And what I did not want to do is be dishonest with my best friend. There may be times I may want to be with other men. And my best friend said to me, Mama, I've loved you since the 10th grade. Do you think you being with another man is going to have anything to do with me loving you? And then he said, well, you know, if you can be with other men, I can be with other women. I said, well, that's not what I meant now. That's not what I meant. But it was my idea because I wanted to be open and honest with the person that I was going to spend the rest of my life with.
All right. As she was saying, Christina, Eric, it's a way for you to live totally honest in your relationship. If a couple was coming to you guys and they were struggling with infidelity, obviously, you know, going to an open relationship is probably the wrong way to stay together if you're already struggling with infidelity, or I don't know. If someone is having an issue, do you look at it, as I said, as that could be a way that could keep your marriage healthy? Because you ultimately want that person you're just not. And how important is sex in a marriage? When you guys are talking with your couples, do they rate that? Is sex a big part of staying together?
I think it's a huge part of the marriage. I do think that there are other things that can compensate.
Like what?
Mm-mm.
Please name one thing. I'm listening.
Well, for me personally, I mean, from a woman's standpoint, I would say, you know, spice it up. You don't
Sex
have to bring
toys?
another person in necessarily for
Got
the
sex toys?
relationship. Say that again.
You got sex toys?
Yes, I do.
Okay. No,
So that,
no,
I mean,
no.
I'm just saying.
No.
I mean, you want to spice it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't asking personally, did you have toys?
damn that.
I was asking.
Well, damn that. Since you already said you do you let Eric play with them with you?
Whoa.
Miss
The
Christina.
Bible said,
Miss
I put it
Christina,
on Josh's thing.
I was not asking you if you have toys. I was
I'm
asking.
just saying. I'm not.
Is that an alternative to going out and being letting? Okay.
I mean, I think, and I'm not saying. Well, I done said enough.
I
done said enough.
Keep
Let me shut up.
keep talking.
Let me shut up. But I do think that you can incorporate things into the bedroom that don't have to be another person necessarily. And I have seen relationships where they did incorporate another person and it didn't go well because there was already jealousy. There was already some infidelity. There was already issues, you know?
Yeah.
So if there's already issues
I've seen
going
that happen
on
too.
and then you bring somebody else in, that ain't gonna work.
The thing is, what's happening is people bringing other people in, but they fucking her better than he fuck you. You can't do it that way. You gotta fuck her the same equally as you fuck me. You know, if you don't put that thing all the way up in me to my esophagus, don't put that thing all the way up in her to her esophagus, right?
So is there? Has there been somebody that you guys have counseled with that has done it successfully, who has had an open relationship successfully and stayed married, stayed happy?
I've had one.
And did you find out, or did they share with you what made their open relationship work?
I think that the biggest thing is they were in agreement. So it's something that you have to communicate and you have to be in agreement. And I think that's why infidelity is so, it impacts so much, is because you're sneaking around doing something that you could have just said, and this don't work in all marriages.
Right.
But you could have just said, you know what, babe, I'm dealing with this. I don't know how to handle it. I really am attracted to this person and I don't know what to do. What do you recommend that I do? Can we bring this person in? Can I go be with them? Because I really want, It just depends on the relationship. Everybody can't handle it. Everybody
Right.
can't do that. So I have one couple that's been able successfully to do that, and that's it.
And so I want our listeners, if you're listening, first of all, I want you to come with an open mind. And I should have said that at first, right? I don't want you to be judgmental. I would love for someone to call our information line. Let me put our number here. I think I pinned our number, 501-650-9726. Give us your true thought about open marriage. Right now, we're not talking about the poly. Right now, we're talking about an open relationship. I said open marriage, but it doesn't have to be a marriage. It could be an open relationship. 501-650-9726. I would love for people to call and give their opinion. If you have a question for me, you have a question for our counselors, Mr. and Mrs. Allen, please call 501-650-9726. Now, and the one couple that made it work, I want to say that it was probably, you have to be strong, right? You have to really be strong to be in a successful open marriage. The fact of letting your people go out and be sexually involved with somebody else is strength.
No, benefit.
Oh, Lord. I can see where he's saying it would be a benefit to the other person, but the person that's allowing it, for this couple, she wasn't.
Was she medically messed up? Was this because she okay?
No, she just. She got to the point to where she just didn't want to have sex. Period. So because she didn't want to have sex, she felt like, I'm going to give this gift to you to go out and find partners. But like I said, she wanted to meet them first. That was the only stipulation.
And that was my next question. Did she have rules to it? She wanted to meet the young lady first. Was it any rules where he had to go and come back home? No spending the night?
No.
Okay. So some couples have this rules that you could do the top, you can't do the bottom. I mean, I'm trying to be.
I know, I understand. I get it.
So, obviously if you decide, some people, if you're deciding to let, especially for a man, like, is that different for a man to allow it versus a woman to allow it?
Y'all can't handle it. Y'all cannot handle the woman sleeping with multiple men. Y'all can't handle that.
I agree with that. I don't think that we're strong enough to mentally know that our chick is out sexually involved with somebody else. Now, obviously, if you can't perform, if you've had an accident, if you're paralyzed, there are some things that you ultimately, like, listen, if I'm paralyzed and I can't, what do? I want companionship. I want love. What happens if you're paralyzed?
Just pull the plug on me, baby. My thing don't work unless y'all right goddamn now. If the doctor got to make a decision on me, he say, hey, he ain't got that long live, but we can save his life, but he won't be able to use his dick no more. Tell the doctor pull the plug on me. Fuck that. I got to use my dick, nigga, every day of my life. I can use my legs as long as I can use my dick. I don't give a damn about my legs. For real. For real.
What we gonna do with them?
Hey, Tristan, didn't you not tell Anthony that we had guests today?
He don't care.
I'm just being real. Hey, Eric, which one would you rather have right now in your life? Would you rather have your legs or your dick working?
Woo, hey, both of them get me in trouble.
Damn them legs. I can get some wheelchair to roll me around to some pussy. Fuck some legs.
Kristen, how do y'all handle if y'all have guests like Anthony, who is just straightforward? We can tell what's really important to Anthony. I know we've only been on for now 45 minutes now.
To me, Eric, two more powerful things in the world. Miss Christina, you tell us if I'm lying or not. Money and pussy. Right?
Undefeated.
Money and pussy. If you got money, you can get any pussy. If he got money, he can get your pussy. I ain't never seen nobody buying dick like they buy pussy. I'm just saying,
Oh my goodness.
If you got pussy, you can always get a nigga with some money.
Christina, please do not judge the podcast.
You put your little spandex on you want to.
Can't take him nowhere.
Hey, put your little spandex shorts on. Walk down Wright Avenue and see how many cars blow at your ass. None. Now you do the same thing, Miss Christina. Put your little shorts on, the little moose knuckle hanging out, and see how many people blow a horn at your ass.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them, goddamn it. They're like, ooh, goddamn. I'm just saying.
So open relationship. There are some things where some people will consider. Let me read. Y'all being quiet on the comments today. I think y'all are just watching, but y'all were not commenting. I want to know a person, if you will comment on here, if that will be open to an open relationship or any situation that we haven't talked about today that will make an open relationship justifiable to you. All right. Put it in the comments or call our information line 501-650-9726. Now we're gonna transfer into the big topic, right? The topic that we get so many inboxes on, which is polyamorous lifestyle. Let me go ahead and put up, and I'm gonna say poly, even though I'm gonna shorten it up. But let's read what a polyamorous lifestyle is. Let me move this private chat. Okay. Polyamory is a relationship style where people have more than one romantic or sexual partner at a time with the consent of all involved. The word polyamory comes from the Greek word meaning many and the Latin word amor,
meaning love. Amor meaning love.
Meaning love. So poly, many love is what the short of it. Many loves. Okay. Now here is the three forms of polyamorous. All right, which is polygamy is the first one. This refers to the practice of having more than one spouse at one time. Polygyny, which is the specific form of polyamory, involves a man having multiple wives. And polyandry is the less common opposite of polyandry, is a woman having multiple husbands. Okay. Now, the benefits of a poly relationships where individuals engage in multiple loving relationships simultaneously offer several potential benefits. These include greater emotional support and companionship, increased autonomy, and the potential for a wider range of experience. Polyamorous relationships also foster better communication and negotiation skills as partner navigates the complexities of managing multiple connections. Here's the downfalls of a polyamorous relationship. The challenge faced by polyamorous relationship can lead to their downfall, including difficulties managing multiple relationships, poor communications, and lack of ethical consent. These issues can result in jealousy, neglect, and unmet expectations, ultimately causing strain and leading to relationship dissolution. Now, I know we've talked about monogamous. We've talked about open relationship. Eric, Miss Christina, how often do you guys deal with people who have entered into a polyamorous relationship where they either marriage or, not marriage, they just have multiple girlfriends? How often do you guys see that? Is that common in your practice?
No, it's not very common at all. But I have had some couples that, not marriage, not by marriage, but where the girlfriend had multiple boyfriends at one time. And so it's just kind of like and guys do this all the time. You got your main chick, your side chick, your guys do that.
So this is what I was getting ready to say. I think that a lot of people are in polyamorous relationship anyway. Some people are being cheated on.
Yep.
And oftentimes the woman know who he is cheating with, and she still stays with him. So involuntarily, you're in a polyamorous relationship anyway.
Correct.
If you know he's cheating on you, and if you know she's cheating on you, and you know who they're cheating with, you're in a poly.
Correct. I agree with that.
I got a lot of pushback when I said that a year ago, that a lot of our women are in polyamorous relationship.
You know your spouse or your partner is cheating. You know who he's cheating with. Now, the thing about polyamorous relationships is supposed to be agreement. So if there's no agreement, that's where the
Okay.
infidelity piece comes in.
Christina, that was their pushback to me. But in my response to their pushback, I said, you haven't left them. So shit, if you ain't left them, you agreeing to it.
No, she just
If you
ain't found a
still with
better
them,
option.
if you are still with them and you have not,
they are actively cheating,
and you know they are actively have a girlfriend and you still with them and you have not left them, you are agreeing to it. Involuntary agreement, but you agreeing because you ain't left his ass. You still there. So you saying that you don't want no poly, but you allowing him or her to have an outside relationship. Now, y'all not living in the same house. Some of these polys are living in the same house, but you don't necessarily have to live in the same house to be a poly relationship. It just says that you knowingly agree to your partner having other partners. And some of these polyamorous are in a relationship, but it's not sexual as my research into it. You don't have to sleep with that other person that you're in this relationship.
It could just be a romantic, you having like an emotional affair. It's kind of like an emotional affair, but you are everybody knows about it. That's the difference. Everybody's aware that you're in this relationship with somebody else. And some people have multiple boyfriends, girlfriends, husband, wife. I mean, it's wild, but people live their lifestyle.
One person I know got multiple girlfriends and he ain't fucking, he in jail. Cause the only motherfucker I know doing that.
Well, what you say?
The only person I know, goddamn, he got multiple girlfriends and he ain't fucking none of them. That nigga in jail.
Okay, what were you saying, Eric?
Can you put the genie back in the bottle? So let's say they've been doing that for 5-6 years or whatever. Now, and the relationship break up. Can you go back to be with somebody that want to be monogamous? Can you go back to that lifestyle?
In other words, can you turn a whore into a housewife?
I think you can change. I think people change every day. I think your need changes the older and more mature you are.
Whorish behavior is kind of like counsel.
Here's I'm saying myself as an example.
Yeah.
Up until the last 3 or 4 years, I've always had multiple relationships going on. I've never been in a monogamous relationship. Well, let me just say that. Let me just clean this loud. I've been in a monogamous relationship, but I've cheated. So it wasn't monogamous.
Like I said.
Up until the last 3 or 4 years, my desire to not have multiple women, it just changed.
You desire that, but the dick don't. Shit.
he still won't. No, listen. If my dick still wanted, I would have them because there's nothing stopping me from having multiple women other than I just don't have the desire. I get a little older. I'm a little bit more mature. Shit. Sometimes dealing with 3 of these women is a fucking headache. So it's hard to get one of them. So I can't deal with 3 of these crazy motherfuckers. I mean, it is difficult to deal with one of them.
Yeah.
And keep one of them happy.
Yeah.
So in my older age and me wanting peace, I used to be about the drama. And I mean, when I was younger, I had plenty of money and it was no reason that I couldn't have multiple women so I did it because I could. But the older that you get, to answer your question, Eric, I think you can put the genie back in the bottle. I think the majority of the time, most men mature with it. They don't really want all that. No. I mean, you'll get to an age, Anthony, where you don't want.
Like I said, being whorish ways is like having cancer. It can go in remission. Your whorish way is just in remission right now. But there's a chance that shit'll come back if you don't go get tested, motherfucker, and get checked out and get ran up on what they call that people have cancer, they gotta go get radiation. If you don't go get no radiation treatment for your whorish ways, you still whole in the remission right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking along those lines. Like, once you open it up, you say, "Hey, I'm okay with this. I'm cool with this," and then, "No, I'm not."
Yeah.
Or can
you're talking about once you let your partner be into a polyamorous relationship, can at any point in time you say, "We don't want this anymore," right?
Yeah. Can 3 be 2?
It's possible.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, we got another bedroom to put the other one in, and me and you just be in this bedroom. Now we two.
Yes. I think I don't think anything has to be forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that you guys, the partners, have a right to say, I did it in 2024. I don't want to do it in 2025. I don't want to be a part of a polyamorous relationship. I think that person, all the involved, have the right to decide if they want to continue in that polyamorous relationship. And what I'm hearing is that some people use it for sexual preferences, but Sex doesn't have to be involved. It could be just a family. It could be help with bills, help with raising children, a community.
That's what I've heard a lot about the community. Like you feel supported by more than one person. It's not like I have to have sex with all these people, but I like this woman for this and I like that woman for that. And you get it all, everybody comes together and it's like a unit. Like we're this unit.
A team.
And it's different.
That's why R. Kelly had, he had a cult like that,
Well, R. Kelly, was that I guess that was a polyamorous relationship. So while we're talking about celebrities, I'm going to put up some celebrities that are down with the polyamorous lifestyle. Okay, here are some celebrities. Nick Cannon, down with that poly. Will Smith, Jada Smith, down with having a polyamorous relationship. Omarion is down with having a polyamorous relationship. Just recently, we have our guy Neo, who has 4 girlfriends. Ooh. Here's a picture of the 4 girlfriend. Neo was on the Angie Martinez show, and he was asked why 4 women would want to be in a polyamorous relationship. And here's his response.
What are you delivering? What are you offering that has made these 4 women, it's 4? It's 4. 4. Mm-hmm. That has made these 4 women say, no doubt I'm in.
Might be a better question for them, but
if you had to guess,
if I had to guess,
yes,
honesty, security. I've always felt like a woman will submit when you give her something worthy of her submission, and in a lot of cases, men get caught up on a lot of stupid stuff that makes them unworthy of submission. Like you cannot force a woman to submit. It has to be her choice. You can, and I feel like when you give a woman security, when you show her that she's in a safe space with you, physically as well as emotionally, as well as spiritually, when you give her something to learn, when you give her something to look up to, when you feed her in ways that go beyond just the physical. Don't get me wrong, the physical counts too, but it has to be more than that. It has to be an emotional security. It has to be a spiritual security. I have to feed your mind and your soul as well as your body, and that's what I do.
So that was his explanation of why somebody would agree. And I feel that.
Yeah.
Like I really feel, I could have seen myself in a polyamorous relationship because we didn't live together, but some of the times the women knew that I was dating other women and they knew who they were. They didn't agree to it, but they didn't leave me either. So I have to wonder, was I in a polyamorous relationship?
Yes, you were.
What were you doing that was so great that,
these
women were all like okay with it?
Just like they said, financial. Some of it was financial. That's the common thing that women say as to why they would consider it. Stability.
Yeah. You know how many fuck boys out there nowadays?
I could help them out. Clout. So, I think people want to be with people who are popular.
Yeah.
And physically, emotionally, mentally, I'm a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
To date. And the same thing that I offered one, I would offer the others, which is being there emotionally.
Benefits all the way around.
Yeah. Emotionally, mentally, socially. I mean, I hit all the check marks. I just did it with multiple people.
Yeah.
And if they was asked at the, they would have said, no, I'm not in a polyamorous relationship. They would have said that. But I mean,
if they were with you, it was polyamorous.
Well, they didn't agree to it, Miss Christina. I'm saying I couldn't have said, hey, I want you to be with me and I'm going to have somebody else. So obviously I just didn't talk about what I was doing when I was away from them. But, I would like, they would ask, are you with so-and-so, so-and-so? I would say, yeah, she my friend. It was a lie. But, they knew that I was doing stuff with other people. So I don't know if I was in a polyamorous relationship or not.
Yeah.
I think the thing about polyamorous is the consent. So because they didn't consent to it,
Yeah.
then it can't be in that category. You were just cheating.
Yeah. Yeah. But as I said, Miss Christina, they didn't leave me. So because they didn't leave me,
You feel like they consented. I see what you're saying.
I mean, obviously that they would, if I had them on the show today, they would probably say that's not true.
Yeah.
But I guess if you didn't consent to it, you would do something different. In my mind. In my mind. So I think they were involuntarily in a polyamorous relationship. And I think some of them I think cheated on me.
So that would definitely qualify as if they would cheat on you and you would cheat on them too.
Well, I'll say the majority of them did not.
Right.
I'm not really attracted.
Some of them.
Yeah,
and you were okay with that.
when you're doing your thing and you not paying, you kind of got to know it comes with the territory, right? If you cheating, you got to know you gonna get cheated on.
Yeah.
I think a fool would think that you doing all this cheating and you don't ever think you gonna get cheated on. I guess my question would be, how do you explain this to children? If you decided to be in a polyamorous relationship, and your kids come in, how do you explain to your kids that you are committed to multiple women, or committed to, if you're in a polyandry, that you are committed to multiple men?
I don't think until the kids get a certain age and they start seeing that everybody's not like their family, I don't think it would make a big difference until they recognize, oh, well, you just have one mommy and one daddy.
Yeah.
But I have two mommies and three daddies. I think once they get old enough to recognize it, but that's their norm. So just like a family where, the parents are homosexual, that's you got two dads. That's just the norm.
Yeah.
I couldn't have no homosexual dad. I'd be like, which one of y'all the mama daddy? And which one of y'all the daddy? Both of y'all ain't daddy, goddamn it. Yeah, I gotta call one of y'all mommy.
What were you saying? Question is, you mentioned committed. So how can you be with multiple partners or whatever and use the word committed?
Maybe that's probably not the right.
No,
they
were
committed to me. Well, so I always look at it in my terms. They were committed to me. I wasn't committed to them.
In other words,
just in general, like when someone uses the word committed in relationships, whatever, commitment comes with a certain level of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can say I'm committed to the Lakers. We'll put some money down. I'm committed to the Spurs too. Well,
right.
You see what I'm saying? So they kind of having a cake and eat it too. But when they use the word committed, they give themselves an out.
See, okay.
So what do you? So hold on. Say right there, because I want to. So were you saying? Are you saying to me? I think I explained myself. Like they were committed in my past. Because I'm gonna make this about me. Because we're just talking about this. So they were committed to me, but I wasn't committed to them.
Yes, you were, because if the bitch tie go on flat, you will pay for that tie, right?
Well, that's a form of commitment.
But
I guess Mr. Eric is saying obviously that was a form of commitment, Eric, right? You were committed to them financially. I was committed to them some financially, right? I was committed to some socially. I was committed mentally. I just wasn't committed to them to not have any dealings with another woman.
Right. Yeah. So my perception of commitment is basically one definition. If she say I'm committed to you, you give it everything you can to this relationship to be committed to it, not what you want.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So like I can do this, but I'm not committed to her. Man, I'm committed to you, but I go do whatever. Commitment means you got to sacrifice some things. Sacrifice some things that you may not want to sacrifice.
Like coming home at night, but 8 o'clock at night.
But even in your commitment, in your commitment, there are some things that you're probably not gonna. Let's say you're committed to Miss Christina, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna go out and kill somebody for Miss Christina, if not vote. So there are some boundaries even to your commitment to Miss Christina. So it's no different in hey, I just wasn't committed to her to not sleep with other women, but I was committed to her.
Yeah.
So I think even when you're committed to somebody, there are some things that you're not going to do in your commitment.
Yeah.
But you're committing bits and pieces. You got a piece, you got a piece. I'm committing these parts of me to you. But monogamy, I'm committing all of me to you, right?
No, not even if you with just him, you still not committing all yourself to him. You're not gonna say, hey, you know what, baby, we together. Whatever you want me to do, I will do.
That's not necessarily commitment. That's just being
what?
But I guess, Miss Christina, I guess my pushback to what you and Eric is saying is I think that you can be committed to somebody, but there are boundaries to what you want to do for that person or to that person. I think commitment comes with knowing that I have somebody, and right, commitment. There are commitment emotionally, but that's monogamous commitment. I wasn't committing to a monogamous relationship with them, but I was committed financially to them. I was committed socially, mentally to them.
And that was good enough for them. That's why they stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
A lot of women
that's the big thing. It was good enough for them. So if someone's in a monogamous relationship, they're they've been married for 20 years. Where or why wouldn't they be, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give everything to you.
Mm-hmm.
So why? I mean, monogamous relationship. Hey, we're together, but what game are we playing?
I think most people, the majority guys grow to that. You know, I think that.
Oh yeah, that's huge. Yeah, we will grow to that point because everybody get married. They say they put the ring on. They're not 100% committed just yet.
Right.
Damn that ring. I found out that.
Yeah.
I found out that niggas more committed when they dead than they is when they're alive. Cause when I die, I give you every fucking thing. I'm alive. I ain't getting you shit.
but yeah, I think ultimately most people, most guys get to a point, Mr. Eric, that they are just fully committed. But I mean, at least with me, I can't speak with most. I think with me, you know, and then maybe I could have, if they would have been in an open relationship for me, well, I guess I still would have cheated because I felt like I was hitting my commitment obligations to them in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
I just wasn't monogamous with them.
Yeah.
And I guess commitment is a journey. Is a journey. Usually at the beginning stage of commitment, as you had to went longer, you got more and more committed because you got more skin in the game.
Yeah.
Because when I first said it, I guess I came from the standpoint it was all in one, committed 100%.
Right.
But like I said, men, we mature and we grow at our level of commitment. So I'm more committed now in year 23 than I was in 8 months of the marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
Just like a job, you know.
Cut the grass now. I get out there and do a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Just like a job. The first year you get a keychain. You know, third year your ass get a mug. Fourth year you get $25 gift certificate to Red Lobster. Same thing, you know.
Right. That's
and when this young lady, I had a young lady today, that when they found out that we were talking about the poly, I think that this lifestyle is becoming more popular. I think people are starting to be honest in relationship and being open to having multiple partners. And we just don't have to lie. You could be 100. Like, why do I have to lie? I should have just came and said, listen, I just want to be with multiple women. I still love you, but I want to have 2 or 3 women. And I shouldn't have lied. I should have just been honest and just asked for a polyamorous relationship. That way I gave them a choice to decide to be a part of it or not.
The choice. I think that's important because if you take away that choice and they don't know you're cheating, is that fair to the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not fair to them to not know who you really are. Right. So if you're in that relationship and you say, this is who I really am. This, I love you. I love her. You know, and I do think it's possible. I mean, from the work that I've done to love multiple people. I think the self-control piece, you know, if you don't have self-control, then that's when the whole infidelity thing, you open that door to infidelity when you can't have that self-control or be honest enough to say, hey, this is what I want to do. How do you feel about it? So I think there's 2 different factors in it. But for you, do you feel like you lack self-control in that area? Was it a self-control issue or?
I think that was it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a person that would want to hurt somebody's feeling and not have, but I just felt like, and I tell myself that I never found one woman that satisfied all of my needs. So I went to multiple women to get my needs met.
Bits and pieces of everybody.
Right. I like this here. That person satisfied that need. This person satisfied this need. And at the end, I was a happy person because I had all my needs met.
So where does commitment, like I'm all in, fall? Because you weren't all in on any of them. So is monogamy, I'm all in?
So as I got older, monogamy got to be important to me because I didn't want to lie to people. I felt it was unfair to lie to people.
Yeah.
Then I got cheated on and I felt how that felt. So shit, it didn't hurt. I didn't want to die. Shit, I didn't want. Once you get cheated on, that shit ain't cool no more.
Right.
So once you grow up to really know, okay, I mean, it's cool to cheat and do all that when you 23, 24, 30, 34. But when you get, 40 and up, now it's time to try to get someone, a life partner, you know what I'm saying, that you can fully be committed with. You start having children, so you want to set example for them. So your priorities shift and they change as the mature you get. You don't want to be hurting people. I missed out on a lot of great women that could have been good partners for me because I took them for granted. You understand what I'm saying? I could have been married earlier with some great women who were great people. But I misused them. You know what I mean? So as I got older, having some popularity and some success, because I had a lot of success at a young age, had a lot of money, had a lot of popularity at a young age. What the hell would I want to be with one woman for when I can have multiple women? You know what I mean? That was my mindset.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: how serious does it get if you have multiple partners, or like say you're in a really serious poly relationship? But how serious does that really get? So we're in a monogamous relationship and it gets pretty serious. Like, I'm committed to you. I'll give up. I will sacrifice this and that. But we have multiple, like, how serious does that get? With multiple people, who will you fight for? If one partner say, hey, I need you to stop being this way. And another person, I need you to stop being this way. Who were you going to change for?
Well, in my mind, I felt I was pretty committed to them. And as I said, I think the boundary was I just didn't want to, because most of them knew that I was being unfaithful to them, and they asked me, I just didn't. So that was the only thing that I was not willing to sacrifice. Everything else they asked, pretty much, I did. You know what I mean? And then in my mind, I felt, well, hell, I mean, if kind of like Anthony P, if I'm hitting 9 out of 10 things that they asked me for, then that's a relationship that they should be willing to stay in and to deal with it. Until I decided to stop doing and been 10 out of 10. But at that point in time, I felt like I was supplying the majority of their needs other than the monogamy part. So does that make sense here?
Yeah, if somebody want to be poly now with you, want to be monogamous, and they, hey, I want multiple partners. You're the monogamous guy. Hey, this is how I feel about it. But they're reintroducing to you. Would you go back?
Would I go back to me having multiple partners or them?
Them. You want to be monogamous?
Hell no. I wasn't gonna do that at then. They couldn't have no. I'm like Usher. They couldn't have multiple partners. I was the only one that was having multiple partners. I wouldn't agree to that then or now.
God.
Shit, I ain't never agreed to that.
But even though you understood all of that, huh?
Huh?
You understood all the benefits and this and that, but it won't work for them, right?
No, it couldn't work for them. It only gonna work for me.
If they paying the bills that we paying for them, maybe so. You paying these notes, you paying rent and all that. I don't know, baby. Maybe so. In that time we call that pimping. You got a girl over here, she bring back the money, and she go get that thing to Pastor such and such. He raised a lot of offering last week. He love hoes. He called his wife the first lady. She his third wife, so he love hoes. But
no, I mean, I think overall, I mean, I think in today's time, my heart goes out to women, right? Because it is hard for women to find good guys. Obviously, there's 8 to 9, girls born to guys. So in that, just that's difficult. If you look in a newspaper any given day, there are 9 boys, 9 girls, born to one. So you're already at a disadvantage to women to find a good man. Then you take the people that are incarcerated, you take the guys that are homosexuals, so that percentage degrades. So and now it becomes to be, 10 to 1.
Yeah.
So in my mind, which is crazy as hell, y'all. I mean, if I was under my 10 to 1 ratio, I was doing good.
Yeah.
Because I'm keeping 100 with y'all. Now I ain't bullshit. I'm keeping it 100. Like I didn't have 10. I had 3, but I didn't have 10.
Yeah.
So if I did 3, then to me, I really deserve 10 because it's 10 to 1.
Yeah.
But I only had 3. So I did you a favor.
Wow. Wow. That's deep.
Think about it.
I mean, that's just what it was. And I lied, but I really didn't lie. I lied because I didn't say, that I wasn't cheating, but I didn't say that I wasn't either.
Yeah.
But I think for women that are looking for that man that's going to just be with them, I mean, I just want to say it does exist because I got one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for that because most of the women I work with are just like, girl, don't get out here in this dating pool because ain't nobody out here. Like you're going to get cheated on. You're going to all these things that the women are telling me. There's no good men out here. And I'm like, it's got to be some, But
Miss Christina, are you not a good man because you cheat? You could still be a good man. I hear Eric saying you're not fully committed. Well, I mean, I hear that. Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't know that you could throw away the whole dude and say he's not a good dude because
It depends on the agreement. What's the agreement? Is our agreement that, it's just us and we're going to do us? Mm-hmm. Is the agreement that I'm okay with you doing you and I'm your number one? Mm-hmm. Is the agreement that I'm going to do me and you going to do you? I mean, I think the biggest part of this is the honesty and the openness. Because if you can't be honest and open about it, then what are you doing?
That's why I missed the boat. And that's why I feel it was unfair to those women, right? I should have been honest. You know what I mean? And that's why just growing up and just maturing, I know that that's not the life that I want to live now. Right. You know what I mean? It took me some years to mature to that point. Mm-hmm. And I always tell most women, if you got a guy that's a good guy, he has infidelity issues, but he are hitting all of the marks. He you could depend on him. Then most guys that have decent sense, they're gonna settle down at some point in time. Just can you weather that storm until he does?
Can he go to therapy?
Yeah, but is therapy gonna make him not cheat? But is therapy gonna? I mean, hell, he can go to therapy and still cheat.
But I mean, the whole process of working on himself. That's all I'm saying is maybe that's an area that he has never worked on, and maybe he can go to therapy and work on that issue. He might be 9 out of 10, but that little bit, that one, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I struggle I don't struggle in any area but that one. Like, go work on that. If you want a monogamous relationship, if you really want that, and you have difficulty with that, can you get help?
We as men, we know right from wrong. We ain't gotta go no damn therapy and all that. just like I won't give a damn how broke I get. I ain't gonna never go rob no bank because I know the consequences, right?
Right.
So there's no consequences for.
So you feel it's just strictly choice?
Yeah, strictly choice. If he a hoe, he gonna be a hoe. That's not against the law. Now let them come over the law and say, hey, you fuck 2, 3 bitches. While you with a bitch, you gonna go to jail for 10 years. Nigga gonna stop doing it. I'm just saying, ain't no consequences.
Right.
Wow. I don't give a damn. I'm just saying. Think about it. You ain't never had to teach your kid, hey, don't rob a bank, Johnny. You ain't never had to do that. Because they already know what's gonna happen. You're gonna get killed or you're going to jail for a long time.
So is there a value system? Is it value? What do I value? Is it ethical?
I guess,
is it moral? Is it?
Yeah, all of those. It is value. One would say I didn't value them because things that you value, you don't want a chance of losing it, so you don't. Morally, It could be some, yeah. I mean, most of the women that I date morally, they just wasn't that type of woman not to cheat.
Yeah.
So it was both of those, morally and I mean, yeah, I could probably wrap my mind around that, morally, even though I wouldn't steal out of a store or rob a bank, but morally, I didn't see cheating as a morality thing.
Right.
And then I'll just say, growing up, you have to imitate what you see.
Yeah.
I was raised in a project where drug dealers and pimps, you had plenty of money, plenty of bitches. I mean, that's just what I saw. So that's what I wanted to emulate.
Right.
I was a product of my environment. I didn't see healthy generational mother and a daddy in the project. I mean, there were single mothers raising black boys, black and brown boys, and we idolized what was in front of us. So I had to learn on the job. I had to learn how to be a good daddy, learn how to be a good partner. And it took me longer to learn what was important. Had I seen my mother and my daddy, my daddy being honest to one woman, going to work every day, I probably would have had a value or morality of relationships.
Right.
I didn't see that. I emulated what I saw.
Right. And I think that's something for us. We both grew up in 2-parent homes.
Mm-hmm.
We both saw, our dads working or moms working, coming home to each other. Like we saw that. So that was something that we wanted for ourselves. So I can see what you're saying. Like if this is what if I didn't see it, I don't have a reference other than like maybe the Cosby Show or something. You know what I'm saying? With something on TV.
Then look at his ass.
That's like an example.
It's not, I'm just saying, TV.
Pudding pop.
It's America. Ain't no good nigga out here.
Oh, I'm just saying.
So let me ask you guys, what is the success rate of the people that come to you guys? I mean, when people come, most times they come when their marriage or their relationship is failing, right? And they depend on you guys to give them some tools to put their relationship back together. How long do you ask for someone to commit? Obviously, you don't want somebody to do one session and never come back. Do you ask them to commit multiple sessions, multiple weeks? What's the success? How can you successfully, if your relationship is failing, I guess it depends on how bad the relationship is, huh?
It depends on how willing they are to work on it. If you got somebody that's saying I'm all in and the other one saying, well, I got one foot out, that's really hard to work with. If you're both saying, I don't know how we gonna do it, but we want to do it. We want to work on this. I don't know how it's gonna work, but I'm willing to try. That's all I ask is be willing to try. Yeah. If you're willing to try, I ask that you give 100% one last time. That's all I'm gonna ask for. Give 100% this one last time. If it worked, you gave 100% and it worked. If it don't work, it wasn't supposed to work because you both gave your all and committed to something. So that's all I ask for is that you commit to the process. If you're struggling with the process, I mean, how committed are you really?
I mean, and a lot of that we have to. They have to understand what it's going to look like. We're going to open up the closet. We can pull all kind of skeletons out that she may not know or he may not know. And so sometimes they come and they don't understand what it's going to take, and they don't understand. Whoa, I know it's going to be about me. They come together and figure out like, whoa, I got to work on myself.
It's pointing the finger, but not realizing I'm part of the problem. So that's part of it too. Once you recognize, I contributed to this. And working on yourself as well as working on the marriage. So I think it takes a lot. You have to put a lot into it.
And my experience, because I did do some marriage counseling, but the struggle that I had with it is coming truthful with everything you've done in the past. Because I didn't want to tell what I'd done in the past because what she didn't know about, I didn't want her to.
Yeah, no, take it to the grave, nigga.
Just hey, really, where were you when you did this and who, so the being truthful and when you're saying, you go to therapy and you say, well, what will you do to stay together? We both say, well, we'll do anything. And then when you get into therapy, they say, well, I need you to tell me, 2 months ago when I was calling you, you ain't answer the phone and shit. I'm like, shit, you don't know about that? If I tell you that shit, you really finna go. I can't tell you that. Shit, I can't tell you where I really was.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I tell you where I really was, you already struggling with me. Shit, are you going? You got the trust that okay? If I tell you, are you gonna leave me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or should I
Right.
just? Am I more just keeping my damn mouth closed and not telling you what you know? But then now there are boundaries because I don't
Yeah.
want to be 100% honest. So I'm pretty sure you guys get a lot of that.
Then if you do tell and she do decide to stay, 3 months later down the road into the relationship, you know, she can be like, baby, bring me some water out the kitchen since you in there. Baby, why you didn't tell me that shit while I was in there? It's gonna be, I bet you'll bring that bitch Keisha some water if she asks. So you know, right.
I think the biggest thing is they have to understand what's important. What's important? Because sometimes they want to come, they want to rehash stuff. Like, what is this going to do for us right now? If we're finna rebuild a house, I mean, we want to argue about grandma's chair. If if it's not gonna be there anyway, if it's not gonna be in the future, it don't need to be discussed anyway. But a lot of time, our ego, we want to dig and be right and be empowered. I want to patronize myself for being upset. Yeah, that's why I'm upset because you're doing all this stuff. The more we patronize that man and pump ourselves up, the harder it's gonna be us to join going forward. Because now I got a whole laundry list of what she's been doing. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more.
Yeah.
That don't matter anyway. So let's not discuss the past. Because some people they want to do that, sit down and just talk about that. It don't matter. And they gotta get over it.
If you moving forward, let's move forward. That's the way I say. If we're moving forward, let's move forward. Because who he was with on the night of the 16th, and he didn't come in to. It don't matter. You know he cheated.
Right.
Why you gotta know who she was, what drawers she had on, all that? So you don't need to know all of it.
What did they say? Chris, did they say? Because I need closure. That's what they always say, right?
Yeah.
They need closure. You know what I'm saying? They always say they need closure is the reason why they need to know
closure in that. It's just now you got it replaying in your head.
Yeah.
Now it's in your head.
Yeah, and that serves the purpose for us moving forward. It doesn't at all. But they want to do it so they can feel good about it and have a little something in their pocket if just in case.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure as much as you guys have done it, that your success rate, you can kind of call it at the beginning. I'm pretty sure that you guys can say they probably ain't gonna make it because they're not committed to it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure there are patterns that you guys have doing it so long, y'all can damn near pick. Y'all ain't sharing that with them.
We know right away when they come and they say, hey, we want to do this. You can tell within the first minute, you feel their heart and what's going on. Yeah, it's gonna be successful. Now, when they come in that door and they sit down, they call us and talk with us. If they're not willing to do this, they just go to the state percentages, 50% or whatever. But when they come in there and we can tell right away, it's up. I mean, drastic success.
If they want it. That's the thing. Because a lot of times one of them is saying it, but deep down it's like I don't think this is really gonna work. I don't really, it's like, do you really want to work on this, or have you already made up your mind it ain't gonna work? Because if you've made up your mind, what are we doing? I'm wasting your time, you wasting mine.
How honest are you guys with them with your sessions? Are y'all? I mean, some counselors are pretty honest, and
together we're pretty honest. If it's just me doing therapy, it's a little different because I'm trying to pull things out and let them figure out and all this stuff. As a couple, when we're dealing with somebody, we like, what the hell? I mean, I can just say that. But a lot of times with therapy, there's all these limitations and boundaries and things that you can't cross. Like if I know that, I try to meet with both of them separately and then bring them together. That's what I was going to
ask too. Yeah.
Because I don't want, I have like this no secrets policy. Just tell me what's up. But it's not my job to go, oh, you know what he did? That's not my job to do.
Yeah. Right.
So I meet with both of them. I get the feeling of what's going on for both of them. Then I look at the perspective and bring them together and say, okay, this is what we need to do because this is what's going on. So the details to me are not as important as the commitment level of this is what we're wanting to do. This is what we're going to do.
And I'm gonna tell them too. We have a program. It's called renovation, and let's say you're gonna renovate a house. At the beginning, you have a consultation, have an inspection, and so the consultation: are you willing to do this? It's gonna cost in every way possible, financially, time wise, part. Are you willing to put it up? If you're not, say, don't waste your time, don't waste our time. Then the other thing, the inspection. Okay, he has another kid. We got to talk about that along the way. Your grandma died, you dealing with grief. So all those things. And then we guide them along the way. But that's at the very, very beginning. Let's inspect this thing and let's consult what's about to go down this road. And we're coaches, so we have a desired result. As opposed to she's doing therapy, she's more discovery. Coaches, we got a score, we're trying to win the game with you. And let's go,
Are there ever a time that when you guys along the way, y'all say, stop, y'all ain't gonna make it, go on and break up? Do y'all recommend in your coaching sessions together that it's not break up? Or are y'all all we are talking about keeping you together?
I don't think a lot of times the couple is not healthy. It's not healthy for you to be together. You're both unhappy and miserable. What are we doing? So I will put that out there. It's like, okay, like what are we doing? What do you want from this? Because if you're not committed to it, you half in, half out, you're miserable. I don't want nobody to be in a relationship where they're miserable. If you're unhappy and you're miserable, you probably need to do something different. If it's something that we can work together on, then I definitely want to do that. I'm sorry for the
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, and also it's like I'm gonna ask them, like, if you don't forgive yourself, it's not gonna work. They may have to, or if you gotta let him forgive him. If you're gonna be bitter your whole life, it's not gonna work. If you don't forgive him, we'll start there. So those are things. If they're not willing to let go of something, we're gonna shoot them straight. I mean, this ain't happening.
Because if you can't let go, how are you gonna move forward? And there's a couple of things you have to think about. It's like, can I move forward? Can I forgive? Can I let it go? Because sometimes I forgive you, but did you really? You still holding on to it. You bring it up every time we argue. You got it over my head. It's like, that's not true forgiveness. You hadn't let it go. So there's factors that play into, is this going to work? Or do we need to just work on co-parenting? We need to work on how we going to split up the funds. You get the house, you get this. I mean, yeah, sometimes we have to do that.
And let me add, it's a lot of times people, they don't understand why it's not working. And I'm talking about our course or whatever, but the next stage after a consultation and whatever and inspection, you build the foundation. Before you buy a house or flip a house, you got to check the foundation. And that's their values and principles. Like, you guys have different values. He likes to run the streets and you want to be in church. I mean, y'all just value different things, but they try to look over that and tell me, they come in, we can't talk. You guys have different values. Maybe he don't respect the woman, or maybe she don't respect the man. They just value differently. So just educating them on that at the very beginning, get their values. When they align, we can roll.
Right.
But we got to kind of teach them where they're aligned at. They got to discover that.
And what we do is more of a training. We do coaching. So it's like you going through a program. It's systematic. So with therapy, it's not this systematic program that you're going through. It's like, okay, we're going to work through this issue. We're going to work through that issue. But what we do as coaches is a little different. So
how long are your sessions as a coach, as your coaching sessions? They're an hour? How long are they? Okay,
roughly an hour. If we have to go over, I mean, we're open to that depending on the need of the client. Okay. But we try to stay, within an hour. And then we have like 12 different, we have our sessions that we go through, the program we go through. So you're learning the skills. We're training you along the way. And then you got a workbook, you got exercises, you got to commit. It's not just you come in for this session and we're done with it. It's like, no, you got to put in some time. So they
want to come in and point finger. Like, they want to come in and do this.
And you said that y'all have singles. So like, if Tristan wanted to find a mate, he's just coming back in. Look at him. And he wanted to find a mate, and he came to you saying, Eric, Christina, get me to be a great, catchable, attractive person for somebody. Do y'all do
well, I'm already dead. I don't think I'm already dead. Let me cut the light on.
Do y'all coach? Do y'all coach in that, or do y'all only coach couples?
We're only coaching couples. Now, if they wanted to see me for therapy, that's a little different.
Okay.
But as far as the couple stuff, that's what we focus on.
So you got to have somebody picked out to come talk to y'all. You can't be trying to search. You got to have somebody that's picked out that you go, okay.
You working on it.
And y'all don't just, it's not limited to marriage. Y'all do relationships as well, correct?
Oh,
They don't
yeah,
have to be
for sure.
married.
And we have different levels. So we got the renovation. So you're rebuilding, you're renovating your relationship. Then we've got the house on fire. It's about to burn up. You about to burn up. The marriage is just, and then we've got the affair recovery. So you've gone through an affair. You're trying to figure out how to work through it. And these are courses that you can buy. So you buy the course and we work with you through the course.
So I think I need to get me somebody to come on the affair, do the affair one. My house was on fire. My damn house burned down. It was it was terrible. My house was burnt all the way down. But no, so just wrapping up, if someone is listening and they would like to get in contact with y'all to start a couples therapy or a therapy session, how do they get in contact with you guys again?
The easiest way, go to the website, Flip My Marriage, and our contact information is there. You can email us, flipmymarriage@gmail. Those are the easiest way to get in contact with us. And like I said, there's free content there. We got a communication masterclass. Go download that. That's free. There's resources on there that you can get that you may not even have to talk to us. You just get the resource. But, if you want to reach us directly, just go to Flip My Marriage.
Stop.
Okay. Anthony, you got any last words for Mr. Eric and Miss Christina?
Nah, y'all got the last words for me.
Y'all got any advice for Anthony? Anthony, y'all need to help him, Eric, Mr. Eric and Miss Christina.
I was about to say, and I wasn't trying to be rude, but dude, you need some help. I'm just messing. I'm messing.
I just tell it like it is.
You do. I get it. Wrong.
The men, we tired of women benefiting all the time. We want to benefit nowadays,
Well, I'm pretty.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, y'all got to turn up the night early on.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm pretty sure that we're going to, I'm pretty sure that we're going to utilize your services. As I told you today on the phone, 70% of the things that we talk about every day is relationship. People ask me, how do you get to have a relationship, podcast or platform? And I tell them, I'm a guru in it. They said, well, you ain't even married. And I said, I've fucked up enough in relationships that I know what not to do.
Right.
And so Tristan is laughing, but that's why I'm a guru in it. I screwed up enough relationships that I feel like I know what not to do. Webb, you in Walmart, aren't you? Webb, hold on a second. We're saying goodbye. Hey, Webb, hold on a second. We're saying goodbye to our guests. But no, I tell people that I've messed up enough, Miss Christina, Mr. Eric, that I and in doing research in order to come on this platform and give great information, I found out a lot of great things about myself, a lot of, what I'm saying? And so I'm not perfect by a long shot, but I'm way better than what I was 3-4 years ago.
And I think that's what makes our dynamic unique is because we have been through it. There ain't too much that's out there that we haven't been through. So we can tell you either what not to do or how to do it in a healthy way, So I think that's what's unique because, hey, we got a story to tell.
Well, listen, thank you guys for spending your Sunday evening with us. We started talking about, polyamorous. We started talking about open relationship, and we started talking about monogamous, and then we went into some other areas. So thank you for spending your Sunday evening with us. And my apologies for Anthony. I told you, I tried to warn you for him. But sometimes I have to mute his mic because he is raw and uncut.
I love it. I love it. Thank y'all so much for having us.
Yeah, we're going to invite you back when we got Andrea and Tristan is in the studio. He was out on location. He was kind of in and out, but we are a whole crew and we're trying to figure it out. I think one of us are married and you have 4 single people. So we all need your services.
married?
Andrea's married.
You know, she married. You know,
Okay.
but she need help
Andrea's
too.
married. Webb is single. Tristan is single, and Anthony is single. So we need y'all help. We need your help. So you guys will be invited back. I'm gonna start calling y'all friends of the podcast, Miss Christina. I'm gonna be hitting you up. I promise you that.
Anytime.
Okay. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time. Thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Joe.
All right. All right, Webb, you are we got Chris Webb on the line, and Webb, I am just trying to have this conversation about you are just outside, like you act like you ain't got no sense. Lenny has been gone for about a month, and you just been doing the most. I am following you on social media, and I see them little short dresses with them shorts and them boots. And how often, Webb? How often are you going out now? You going out 3 times a week? Like, what are you doing?
Level. I'm just having an encore before this badass little baby get back next week. So I'm trying to turn up because it's the last hurrah. It's back.
This is what I want to ask. When is Lenny? I miss Lenny calling and Lenny.
Y'all know she'll be back next week.
Where are you at tonight? I see you in. Did you go out tonight, Webb?
Yeah, I had to go out. I just went. It was light. I just went and got like something to eat.
Well, you missed our conversation tonight. We talked about, and I think I told you we were talking about polyamorous relationship, open relationship, and monogamous relationship. Webb, do you think that you could be in a poly?
The only way we're gonna do poly, I was talking to my cousin. The only way we're gonna do poly if he's like if I have 3 husbands, I'm not doing no.
So
you the polyandry. The polyandry is a woman having multiple guys. So
yeah,
you down with
multiple husbands, brother husbands.
Can you satisfy multiple guys though, Webb? Can you?
I don't know. We gonna see.
Let me see your throat.
Shut the fuck up.
But you would not be down with the guy having multiple women. You would only be down with
I'm too jealous. Yeah, I'm too jealous.
Too jealous.
Yeah. I can't share my.
Well, Webb, you gotta get one dude first before you can get
3.
3 on the polyamory.
Man, fuck you.
So you been
everybody got jokes today.
But no, let me ask you this, Webb, because we ain't really rapped about this in about 3 or 4 months since you've been outside. Have you? Is there somebody? Is there a Mr. Chris Webb in Texas somewhere that you done found in the last 3 weeks since you've been outside? Have you found somebody, Webb?
Hell no.
You have not.
It's the thing. Niggas ain't nothing to get. It's what kind of niggas, the quality of niggas. I don't want no dirty foot ass nigga. Just like y'all don't want no dirty foot ass hoe. So until
you got to like what like you, baby. You know,
if
you attracting them dirty foot hoe ass nigga, you got to accept them dirty foot hoe ass nigga.
No, I don't.
So, Webb, what are you waiting on to commit? What are you, the right dude?
I don't know. Stuff be trying to talk to people. Things just don't be going right. Like
what they want that you don't.
It's like we're not going 24 hours without talking to me. If we go 24, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm confused with that. I don't get that. So
Right.
That's just
so that's one of your pet peeves. Don't go 24 hours without talking. Like in the beginning stages, you got to stay close to the situation.
Forever.
Oh shit!
You better be putting it down. The head right piece there every night.
It's strict over here, so that's all I'm saying.
Oh Lord.
Well, I'm pretty sure you have a lot of choices in Texas. There are probably some good dudes down there. You just got to be open to.
Ain't no shortage of women in Texas though.
You got to be. You got to be so.
You know, I don't like these niggas level.
Ain't no shortage of women in Texas.
Well, let me ask you this, Webb. You often say you don't like the niggas. What about the women, Webb?
And see, and then I was telling my cousin about this too. I'm just like, if I already been gay for 3 months and it didn't work out for me. But if I was to be gay again for 3 months, I would be the nigga and I would give me a bitch and I show these niggas how to treat a hoe.
But shit.
Yeah, that's what I give me a bitch.
So there was 3 months that you had a.
I didn't do it with nobody, but I was just talking to a gay girl.
So
she was a gentleman, like, but
a gentleman. She was a woman, but she was a gentleman.
Man, that bitch was a gentleman. I ain't gonna lie, that
God
bitch was a
damn.
real gentleman.
So y'all didn't never have
It's just
sex.
like, nah, I could
Well, you
feel
wasn't
one
gay
night she
then.
wanted. I could feel like she wanted to like fool around, but I was so scared. So shit, I just
You
was
wasn't
being.
gay then. You wasn't gay.
Yeah, nah, you would. If you ain't have sex with that, I
Yeah.
don't think that
Yeah.
talking don't really
Okay,
qualify as gay.
talking. Okay, I was kind of gay. I was talking
So
to like.
listen, so you've been outside. You didn't bring any news to you. So I said we need to come and talk about. So next week is Lenny back next week, or is it the week
Lenny probably be
afterwards?
back. Yeah, it's gonna be back. She'll be back Sunday.
So
Wow.
next week we will have some news you can use. You will not be out. Well, this weekend you got you gonna be outside this weekend. She come back next weekend. So the following weekend you won't be. I am really pulling for Lenny to come back home so my friend Chris Webb could go back in the house, and you just been outside every weekend, every Saturday morning. I look on my phone and see you somewhere smoking hookah, and I mean that's your thing. So Lenny need to hear up and come back home so we can get back to the news you can use.
That's why I
But
think I had another baby too, cause them kids keep you safe. They keep you in the house where you need to be at. So I'm really ready for her to be back home too, cause I'm tired of being outside. But hey, I'm going out if she ain't here.
it sounds like you've been drinking. Have you been drinking tonight, Webb?
No.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't drinking tonight. Okay. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Sound like you've been drinking. All right, well, go. I seen you was in Walmart. It did sound like you had been drinking. I see you in Walmart, so I wanted you to come on and at least talk about this outside deal because you just I don't know if you're having a midlife crisis or what. I mean, you just
Man, fuck you, big level. You be going there. Don't nobody say your big 50-year-old ass stay out in the streets, and don't nobody say shit to your motherfucking ass. I go out a few weekends in a few months, and now I'm having a midlife crisis.
Yeah, you are.
Nigga,
oh geez, Louise, oh Lord. All right, well, listen, way up. I'm gonna let you go. You can go and go back to
why Tristan sit over there looking like that? He ain't said hi or nothing. We beefing.
he up here. Tristan, do you hear way up?
Webb said, "Are y'all beefing? Are y'all beefing? Why you up there looking
Way
like?"
up said, I mean,
I don't
Tristan,
beef.
He said he ain't beefing way up.
Well, hi Tristan.
Oh, she don't got no news she can use because she sure was posting like she did.
Nah, I was not posting like nothing.
Oh, okay. Because she sure had a lot to post last week.
It wasn't nothing newsworthy to bring on the podcast.
Well, I posted
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Because
yes.
I wanted to. You still
Some.
have news that we still have news that we're gonna post throughout the week. We just don't have like headlining news that's worth bringing to the podcast this week. It wasn't nothing notable.
Yeah, so I knew that she didn't have anything today because I talked to her this morning. So I said, well, you still need to come on. We need to talk about this, you being outside. So hopefully next week Lenny will be back and we will have the news you can use back on next Sunday. You got now. Yeah, it's the weekend. So you got next weekend, and then hopefully you'll get back to being the Chris Webb that my little sister that be in the house and that be doing their thing.
That's a
So
shame.
anyway, so yeah, I'll let you go so you can go be great, what you always say.
Okay. Okay.
See you next week, Will.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. All right, so Tristan, I guess you at home now. How did the 20-1 go?
Yeah, it went good.
Did she find somebody?
No, they got to do a part 2, I believe.
Oh, there's several parts to it.
I think they got to do a part 2. They
Did you
break the jump in segments.
Okay. And how many? So obviously, is it 20 guys, and then they try to encourage her to pick them, and she
Yes,
or
20,
no, they pop the
20
balloon.
guys. It's girls too. It's 20. It's a mixture of different people.
Yeah, why the fuck you ain't invite us then?
Because we had to do the podcast, P.
We could have did that
Have to
shit
do the
from there.
podcast, and then you don't ever be here. I'm surprised you're here today.
Anthony was here early. He was here
What?
early today. Yeah, he was here early today.
I ain't got no more PTO, so gotta be here.
He was here at like 6:40. He was here. So Big up to Anthony for being on time.
Being on time.
Yeah, he got to get a big up for being on time. That's not his expectation. That should be his expectation. But he was on time tonight. Next week you're back. You back in the studio. How are we doing with the sit down with Tristan? I know. Have you found your guest?
I'm looking for some potential. I'm looking for some people. Some good people.
Okay.
I'm still looking.
So if you are wanting to do some conflict resolution, we are skating up on the episode. Let me tell you when it's going to be. Inbox Tristan Hobbs, inbox UTB, inbox me, inbox anybody on the crew. Today is the 13th, and the last Wednesday is the 30th. So we have 2 weeks from this Wednesday. 2 weeks from this Wednesday, Tristan will have the sit down with Tristan Hobbs. If you having baby mama issues or friend issues or past friends issues, and you want
Or co-host issues.
Co-host issues. What are you talking about? Co-host issues?
Yeah, I'm just being messy.
Do not have way of calling back in here. She already gone. She already gone.
Be live out.
Be loud. Do it, boy.
Any issues, call Tristan, inbox. We would love to have you on the platform on the sit down with Tristan Hobbs.
Yes, B-level ex-girlfriends want to come on here. Anthony, ex-girlfriend.
I'm at peace with everybody that I did. I don't have no beef with nobody. I was telling Tam this morning, we were talking. I said, Tam, I don't really break up with. I don't have a lot of enemies when we break up. Like, I still talk to a lot of my exes are still friends. I don't really have no beef. What?
That's why y'all cordial.
No, I'm saying, I don't really have no beef. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I kind of keep it 100 with them, you know. But all of them quit. I ain't quit none of them. They all quit me. So they ain't gonna be why you if you mad. You shouldn't quit me. So they don't have no reason to be mad at me. So I don't have no ex that all my ex are cool with me. I don't have no problem. I'm cool with my ex. So you won't be getting none of them on your little sit down with Tristan.
You never know.
Yeah, all of them are cool with me. But listen, if you are wanting to be a contestant, we are looking for hit up Tristan, inbox him, Tristan Hobbs on Facebook. What's your Instagram, Tristan?
At Tristan Transformation.
Okay. And then I need some followers on TikTok at B-Level ENT on TikTok. Or go do our UTB podcast page on TikTok. It's at UTB podcast on TikTok. Go and follow both of those pages on TikTok. P, are you on TikTok? Tristan, are you on TikTok?
Yeah, seldom.
What is your TikTok handle?
At Tristan Transformation.
Okay, so and I know Andrea's on there too. And y'all pray for Andrea. She was not feeling well today, so pray for Andrea that she could get back healthy on next week. And then continue to pray for me. My grandmother's funeral. I know I announced last week that she had passed. But that was wrong information. But she eventually did pass on last Wednesday or Thursday. And so her funeral services will be next weekend. So I don't know how I'm going to be. I may be a nervous wreck on next weekend because we buried my grandmother. She was 98. We were getting ready to celebrate a really big 99th birthday party. We had on May 10th. We're still doing it. We just changed her birthday party to a celebration of life. So she wanted this party. So we're continuing on with the party, even though she won't be there in physical, she'll be there spiritually. But yeah, pray for me on next week as we bury my grandmother. And then Andrea is still having her event on I think she said the last Saturday of April, which I think is the 26th, and we're still waiting on information about that. And I think Tristan his camera went out, but I think he's coming back in. Peter, you got anything else that we need to talk about before we?
No, I'm cool.
Before we go, Tristan, is there anything else you want to promote? Or I seen that you've got something else you're hosting for the LBGQ.
Yes, on Friday night at Mr. Hubert's.
Okay, is that every Friday?
Yes, it's every Friday.
Every Friday. They gonna have you on as a host every Friday?
No, not every Friday. I just be
Okay.
helping promote.
Okay. And I can't remember the date. I was going to share it, but
Yeah, every
what is it?
Friday. It was last Friday. The first day was this upcoming Friday.
How's that?
This
And
past Friday.
it's an event for the LBTQ.
LGBT. Yeah.
LBTQ. Okay. I can't remember all the alphabets.
Me either.
Yeah. But it's an event that's thrown by them. Can straight people, they welcome to come?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They
Okay.
want y'all to come.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's on Fridays at Mr. Hubert's. I think it's 3315 West Roosevelt is on there.
Yeah, it's just all the dress.
Yep. So anyway, I don't think, is there anything? Make sure the hair show, June, what is it?
June 8th.
June 8th. Y'all hit up Tam. Let me give y'all Tam's number again. Hair Invasion 2025. Let me get, I just had Tam's number there. Let me give y'all, if you are a vendor, if you are a stylist, and you want to be a vendor, you want to be a part of this Hair Invasion 2025. Let me put this up while I'm talking about it before we leave. It's right here. It's Sunday, June 8th. It's in Little Rock. And the phone number, the contact number is 501. Yep, there it is. 247-9817. 501-247-9817. Okay. All right. So if we don't have any order of business, Tristan, hopefully we'll see you back in the studio next week. And
Yes.
Hopefully Andrea will have the team back together and we'll be back as normal. But anyway, if we don't have any order of business, we'll see you next Sunday. Same bad time. Finish it, Tristan.
Same bad channel.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Had another rough conversation with the voices in your